hello, my name is One Shots. I am the Switch 2 Supremacist, and I just wanted to make this as an introductory video on what I want to do for, the rest of my life. Ever since July 1st, we got the news that Sony decided to just downright discontinue all sorts of physical game discs, by 2028, January 2028 to be specific. Basically, just imagine these are PS5 games. They're going to stop printing them. There will be no more. If you have it digital, they'll just take it away and won't give it back to you. I mean, if they can, of course. It really depends on the situations. They're not going to immediately take it away from you, but even then, what I'm saying, it's bad. I don't like it. I have all sorts of physical PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, all sorts of physical games that I like to keep. I want to keep. I think it's worthy of having a physical collection because you actually own that collection, which is why I decided to just say, you know what, regarding all this information, I at least want to make a video to remind people that, yes, this is all worth your weight in gold. Switch 2 games, Nintendo Switch games, and I'll even go as far as to say game key cards are also worth your weight in gold. So, let's start off, let's keep this quick because I'm recording this off of a phone. Let's start off with Fire Emblem Engage. I've yet to play this game. I love Fire Emblem, but I just haven't found the time. The only reason why it's a PAL copy was because my brother was in London at the time and he just offered to get me a game. I don't know why he did that, but either way, I thank him. This is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is the first game that I ever went to a midnight release for, and I'll never forget it. There was a really cute girl who was cosplaying as Ness, and my friend was just thinking about, trying to go out with her. But at the end of the day, he just ignored it off. This is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I got this from Temu for around 12 bucks. There's a lot, I know that people always say Switch 2 or Switch 1 games are always so expensive, but if you just look properly on the internet, there are ways to get games like this for cheap. This shouldn't be cheap. This should have costed me 50 bucks at least, but I got it for 12 bucks. This is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is one of the first Switch 2 games that I ever got, Switch 1 games I ever got all the way back in 2017. I traded the original Mario Kart 8 on Wii U for this, and I never looked back, and I caught up with all the DLC too. This is Xenoblade Chronicles. I got this from AliExpress for, I think, $40. It's a Malaysian copy, but it still treats itself like a North American copy, which is fine. I like that. Bayonetta 2. I also did a lot of game trading to get this. My friend, he had it in his house for the time being, so, mind you, this is before I even got a car. But I told him, hey, open it up and just give me the code to Bayonetta 1, and then you can give me the game after school. And ever since then, I mean, I've been a fan of Bayonetta for a while, and I just needed it. Like I said, I'm a big Fire Emblem fan. I didn't get to play this, but I at least wanted it in the collection. Mind you, I'm not really a fan of the Dynasty Warriors games. I don't really play them much, but I at least wanted to get Fire Emblem Warriors into my collection. And who knows, maybe Hyrule Warriors 3 might change that. Sushi Striker. I remember playing a demo of this on the 3DS, and I got this for 9 bucks on Temu. I haven't really played it much, but it seems like something that I would take to the gym. Pikmin 1+2. This was a birthday present from my best friends. I only played Pikmin 3, and I enjoyed the demo that I played of it on the Wii U. So one of these days I want to take some time to actually play through 1 and 2. I have a feeling that I'll enjoy 1 a lot. My first Switch 1 game, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I remember getting this as a birthday gift, and mind you, I wasn't really too big of a Zelda fan at the time. But I eventually went through it. It took me a while to beat it, but even then, I love this game, and now that I have the Switch 2 upgrade, I eventually do want to make some time to play it again, and then later on get Tears of the Kingdom. I don't have Tears of the Kingdom yet. Mario Party Superstars. I got this late, but when it came out, I wanted this game, but I just never forgot it, because this is during a time where I was like, oh, fuck Nintendo and all that other stuff. Oh, I hate Nintendo. This was released, I think, in 2022 or 21. I don't remember, but I have it here. I only played it once during Christmas, and it was fun. I like it. But not as fun as Super Mario Party Jamboree. This one, I was initially going over to a friend's house, and my friend, who lives in Atlanta, I was like, yo, you mind if you game share the game to me? And instead of doing that, he sent me $60 through Cash App, and I got the game physically. I wasn't going to get it digitally. I wanted the game physically if he was going to do that. I don't care if I had to pay extra tax. But to my friend, I genuinely do thank him for even pulling that off. And me and my friends, when it comes to Mario Party, this is the one that we always go to. Usually we go towards Mario Party 8, or we just went towards Super Mario Party, but that's been our savior for the time being. Ring Fit Adventure. Now, I didn't really make use of this as much as I did back then, but even then, what I played was fun. She's got a little ass in here, and all that. But I know niggas would rather go with him. I know niggas would rather go with him. Trust me, everybody loves that guy. But nah, I want the female ring fit trainer. Imagine, you remember that one Spider-Man comic, that one Spider-Man comic panel where Peter thought he had a dream of both Felicia and Mary Jane in the same costume? That's what I would imagine myself at some point, with Wii Fit trainer and the female ring fit trainer. Awesome. Anyways, pretty good game. I do plan on you know, using this more to like lose some weight and all that other stuff. Also, personally, if this guy was to ever have an official voice, I could see him being voiced by John Madagio. You know, Jake the Dog, Bender. I could see that. That being said, this game, I was always so curious about this game for the longest time because it pretty much kills two birds in one stone. Fire Emblem and Persona. This was during the Wii U era. We pretty much like originally knew this as Shin Megami X FE, but then they went for something else. And I played this a little bit and it wasn't gravitating towards me. I fell asleep pretty much to the beginning of the game, but I'll give it another chance at some point if I was to ever play Persona 5. This game, you could not find this game anywhere for the time being. For a while, you could not find this game at all. But I managed to snag a copy. I got this for $10, believe it or not. I'll explain later down the line. I got this for $10. But I've been enjoying it. I already did what I needed to. I already married a girl there. That's fine. Now, if there's anything to know about me, I am a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Like right over here, I have a custom Sonic skate deck that I made myself through Photoshop, and I had someone like make it into a skate deck. But I love Sonic the Hedgehog. This game, it's one of his weakest, but it's not as bad as people try to tell you to be. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just okay, and there's a reason why it did so well compared to all sorts of other Sonic games. Kids like the idea of creating their own Sonic characters. Now, the game that came out before that, Sonic Mania, this was also one of my first Switch 2 titles, Switch 1 games, because my friend also gave me an eShop because he was like, oh, I heard that you're getting a Switch, so I decided to just give you an eShop gift card. I bought this digitally, and I love this game. It's been a while since I played it, but I genuinely do love the game. This one, I personally feel, is better than Super Mario Kart World. Compared to the game, it's belt to ass. And I won't elaborate. I know how many niggas hate that game. This is sealed, but Sonic Superstars. I don't like this game. Sonic Colors. Ultimate. I'm honestly better off playing the Wii version. The Switch version of Sonic and Shadow Generations. Now, initially, I had this through my Steam account, and I also later got it again on Switch 2. But from what I played, if all you just wanted was just a portable version of Sonic Generations and the extra Shadow Generations content, whether it's on Switch 1 or Switch 2, definitely worth of a purchase. And while you may think that this is a Switch 1 game, you can actually notice the Switch 2 logo. I don't know why Bandai Namco did that, but yet again, Bandai Namco is lazy. Bandai Namco doesn't give a shit. Because while as good as this game is, this for real did not need to be a game key card. Now, I'm fine with game key cards, but this did not need to be one, okay? Especially since they could have just released the Switch 1 version and just given you a Switch 2 upgrade. But no, they wanted to be greedy and have you forced to pay for it again. Because this is essentially Waifu 2X paint job. 60 frames per second, you could clearly see that there's all sorts of anti-aliasing, so all sorts of 4K blotches onto the game, and I don't like that. And you're gonna see that a lot with all sorts of like Switch 2 versions. Now, like I said before, I do have Mario Kart World, but that's digitally. I got the Switch 2 digital version. But this is one of the first games I ever got for Switch 2, and regards to how much I paid for this game, I paid $18 for this game, and I won't elaborate how. And keep in mind, no. And mind you, this wasn't like sometime after the game came out. No, this was literally on release day. I went to my local Costco. I had like all sorts of gift cards, and I got the game for $18. And mind you, I'm a new Costco member, so there was this deal going on where it was like, oh, you join now, you get a $45 gift card. And I was so down to do that, especially since my grandma's a Costco shopper. But now she's dead, so now I get to use the privileges of all sorts of Costco cards. This game right over here, I almost paid $70 for it, but I got it for $60 because QVC had a deal where new members would get the game $10 off. And from what I played, I enjoyed it. People were shitting on this game for so long that it got annoying. So I played it for myself, and I'm just like, it's not that bad. People are always just like, oh, the map is so small, but they treat the map as if it's like a little tiny little map, like this small. Like, no, dude, the map is very sizable. The map is very sizable, and you're able to do a lot in the game. You're still able to play online. You're still able to like collect Pokemon, which that's the name of the game. You already did that with Legends Arceus. You're already doing it here, and it's fun. It really is fun. A lot of people gave this game shit just because it's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. Pokemon, when you have Pokemon and Nintendo in the conversation, a bunch of outsiders are always gonna give it shit. This game is not as bad as everyone tells you. It really is that fun. That's the problem I feel like with the video game community nowadays. Everyone's always so quick to just consistently judge and say, no, this game sucks, this game sucks, this game is trash, this game is woke, this game is so on and so forth. Dog, just play the games, bro. This all wouldn't be an issue if you guys just actually took a chance and played the games. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with liking Pokemon. Nothing wrong with liking Nintendo. Nothing wrong with liking PlayStation, Sony, Sega, so on and so forth. Yes, do they do some fucked up stuff? Yes. But when they give out a good product, they give out a quality product. And this, let me give you some context for this. I got it for $50, and initially with Kirby Air Riders, well, Kirby Air Ride, the original Air Ride, I did not like Air Ride. I played it when I was 14 years old, and I maybe tried it again like a couple of times after that. I did not like it. I wasn't interested in this game whatsoever. And then as more marketing came out for it, as time went on, I decided, you know what, it's a new project from Sakurai. It's not Smash Brothers, which I personally don't even want him to make another Smash Bros. I want him to move on with more projects like this. Or a new Kid Icarus, which I've yet to play. So when I played Kirby Air Riders, I wasn't expecting much. And with the short amount of times that I played it, it's made a damn good impression on me. I'm just so sad that everybody pretty much just like dipped away regarding Air Riders. But you know what? It's not for everybody. It's a pretty niche game. And I ain't gonna hold you. $70 for something as niche as this is pretty insane. But you know, whatever. At the end of the day, I had my fun with it, and I want more of Sakurai that isn't just Super Smash Bros. For 2025, this was the game that everybody was waiting for. Metroid Prime 4. I waited for this game ever since the first Nintendo Switch E3. That was in 2017. I was 16 years old by the time that got revealed. I was on my way to my last year of high school when this got revealed. And now I am 25 years old playing this, and I've got to say, it's good. It's not the best, it's just good. Had they cut out the open world sections, the last minute backtracking, and maybe some of the characters too. By the way, Miles McKenzie, he's not the greatest, but he's also not as annoying as you guys think he is. Other than that, Metroid Prime 4, it was a good game, but it also could have been a lot better. Star Fox. I love Star Fox. I have been a Star Fox fan since my brother went ahead and got Assault, and I was just like, oh, Star Fox seems okay. And then I played Assault, and I was just like, okay, I get it. This shit is fun. So, a couple of times I played the 64 demo because I didn't have Wii Shop points at the time. I rarely could ever afford Wii Shop points. But even then, when the hype for this game was coming out, well, when he was announced to be in the Mario movie, that's where my inner Star Fox fanboy just emerged. That's where I started playing the Super Nintendo version, the Star Fox 2 on SNES. That's where I played a little bit of Adventures, and I ain't gonna hold you. Even as a little kid, I didn't really like Adventures much. And I just started like getting back into the series because like I genuinely do love Star Fox, and I wanted to succeed because I still feel very hurt on the fact that Star Fox Zero just went, shipped, and flopped like that. The fact that I'm hearing people consistently buy this, and it's like and it's disappearing in stores just like Tomodachi Life and Pokopia, it warms my heart to see that my boys are finally back. They're finally back. And despite how much of a shit movie it is, I have to thank the Mario movie for this, the Mario Galaxy movie. I have yet to play Star Fox, but because right now I'm on Deltarune, but the time will come. Bravely Default. Now, I've been curious about this since I was a little lad with a 3DS. I wasn't really too big into RPGs, but since the first game got a remaster on Switch 2, which personally I feel like that should also be on Switch 1, but whatever, Square Enix is just as greedy as Bandai Namco. Like I said before, Sonic X Shadow Generations. I always keep on calling it Shadow X Sonic Generations, because Shadow's my goat. And Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. This is originally a Switch 1 title, but they decided to make it a game key card, and no upgrade path. This, I tried to look for a while, and it got to a point where I had to buy it from a firm and pay for it monthly. But even then, I have it now, I have it with me, and I get to play the games because I already have them on Steam. I just really wanted it physically on Switch 2. And now this is the second layer of games that I have. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by something. But let's keep it quick. This is Pokemon. I forget which one, but I know it's Diamond. Pokemon Diamond. Initially, I wasn't really interested in playing this game as a kid, of course, but I always wanted to get into Pokemon. So when I finally made the time to actually get into this, I enjoyed it a lot, especially, but that also makes sense considering the fact that this is my first time, well, one of my few times actually playing Pokemon Diamond. I had a copy of Diamond, but I later sold that, like, down the line for some Switch games. But I enjoyed my time playing through this, but I honestly get why people would say, oh no, it's the worst version, because, oh, and it's also a Japanese copy. I got this on, AliExpress for like 20 bucks. I get why people say that it's not as good as the original, because at the end of the day, it's quite literally a by-the-book port, by-the-book remake of Diamond and Pearl. This I got recently because it was a pretty good deal, 14 bucks. I'm not really too much of a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I like Yu-Gi-Oh's aesthetics, and I want to read more of the manga and the show. R.I.P. to its creator. Red Dead Redemption. I could have played it, if I had played this on PS3 all those years ago, this would have been my favorite games of all time. I really would have enjoyed this if I was like 12 years old again. I genuinely do love it. This game, however, I do not love. Now, yes, it's kind of crazy of me even saying that I do not love the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. But no, I do love these games. I just don't like this specific version of the game. Not the Switch version. It's all versions of the Definitive Edition, because the problem with this game is that everything's fine. The AI just sucks. Like, say for instance, you're in a mission where you gotta chase someone. Dude, they're downright doing all they can to pretty much just cheat. And it gets annoying, and it gets to a point where I don't even want to deal with, like, the bullshit AI in that game. So, whatever, that's out. I'm gonna take you for a ride. And see, that's Baby Girl right there. Both my baby girls, Chun-Li and Psylocke. But both my niggas, Cyclops and Ryu, okay? I love X-Men. I love Marvel vs. Capcom. So when this got announced during that one Nintendo Direct back-to-back with Mario Party, I was there. It took me a while to get this, though, because I think I had better things to pay for. But I love it. I love it a lot. I beat every game in this collection except for the Punisher. Balan Wonderworld. I think me owning the Switch version says a lot about how much I care to play that game. I only got it for 11 bucks, and that's about it. Dragon Quest 3. Now I'm a new Dragon Quest fan. I played the original version of 1, and I played the original version of 2. I played this game, and I just like let it go for a minute there, because I think some other games that I cared for like showed up. But I do plan on completing it. This one I got as a steal. Walmart had a deal where basically they had a bunch of games for like 15 bucks. This was one of them because I initially grew up with the original My Sins, the one on DS. So I eventually do plan on like playing both these versions at some point. This was also for 15 bucks. That way I can actually save money on the Switch 2 version that costs like a $10 upgrade. Thank you, Warner Brothers. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I just put this there because it was also 15 bucks. And it sold out pretty quick too around my area. So thank you. This game was being sold for 10 bucks. For some reason I said, you know what, let me go get it. And then they later delisted it. So guys, keep that as a good reason on why physical media matters. Physical media matters. Because I got this game for 10 bucks physically, and now it's gone. So thank you, 2K. This was one of my biggest surprises of all time. I initially got this game around the time I was going to my grandmother's funeral, because I was like, hey man, I'm already going to this place, and to this funeral. I'm already going out of state. Might as well get a new game to go along with it. And unfortunately, I never ended up actually playing the game because I was just too tired of just dealing with all sorts of sad family shit and whatnot. But then I played Aladdin, specifically the Genesis and Super Nintendo versions, at the gym. And let me tell you, this is now one of my favorite games of all time, particularly the Super Nintendo version. Everybody who says that the Genesis version, I ain't gonna hold you, that's Genesis PsyOp right over there. The SNES version is the best version of the game. I won't say why. You just gotta play it yourself. It's a Super Nintendo game. You guys can emulate both of them. You guys can emulate both the Genesis and SNES versions. But considering with how tech illiterate so many people are, yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival. I had Drum and Fun digitally on Switch. That's delisted. That's gone. So I wanted to get this specifically physically. I got this for 20 bucks online, and let me tell you, I love Taiko no Tatsujin. In fact, I have like one of the drums right over here. So I beat Drum and Fun. I completed all the songs. I do plan on completing all the whatever songs here, just to keep on playing it, because I love Taiko no Tatsujin and I want to get better with the Taiko drum. Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Now, I'm a newbie when it comes to Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I still haven't gotten the controls down, but from what I played at the gym, because I often take my Switch 2 to the gym, it's pretty fun. I like it. Again, if it was something that I played as a kid, I would have definitely like been into it more. This one, well, these two are very recent. Wild Guns Reloaded. Now, damn it. Now I've always known of Wild Guns, but I never bothered to like play it until like recently, where they just decided to like sell it for 20 bucks and give me a pretty sweet keychain with it. So the keychain is what got me to buy it, really, if I'm gonna be honest. So I bought it. it's still sealed. I plan on playing it at the gym at some point, because I often like to take the Switch 2 to the gym, and I play a lot more like short and sweet arcade games, just to kill time when I'm doing a set or when I'm on the stationary bike. And while I have more physical games on the cartridge only case, this is one of the last physical games that I have for the time being. Cruising Blast. I have been a fan of the Cruising series ever since the first one came out. Well, I wasn't there when the first one came out, but the first one, the arcade version, was in this barbershop I used to frequent. I loved playing it all the time. And then my barbershop closed down and I never saw that again. But I do have an arcade that maybe has one of the games in the back. I'm not so sure. So when I saw this released on Switch, I was like, oh snap, Cruising. But I never really bothered to like get it at launch because like, I don't know. Maybe at that point I was still on my fuck Nintendo arc. Until recently, this game got delisted. No announcement, no reasoning, probably because of like the real in-game models of the car. Raw Thrills just decided to delist it with no word whatsoever, and that's where all sorts of like stores were selling the games for $30. No, not even, for $20. You had Best Buy, you had Walmart, you had Amazon selling it for like $20, and that was really cool. Because I at least figured out that, hey, if I get this now, I might as well, because this might as well be like a rare collectible. This might be one of those Switch games that go from $30 to $20 to $100. And now I'm seeing some listings where it's going over $80. So if you have this, you're lucky. I'm lucky that I even have a sealed copy of it. I'm lucky that I even have the privilege to even play this game at all, because I love Cruising. But that being said, here is the cartridge only slot. Some of these games you might already recognize that I talked about before, but some of these are actually still very new. So right over here I have Wonderful 101. This cost me $11, cartridge only. And here's an oddity. On Facebook Marketplace, this guy was selling Mario Galaxy 1+2 for $30. Initially I didn't trust him, but I still decided to take the gamble because it was Thanksgiving, why not? And he kind of flaked on me later down the line, and that kind of worried me because I was like, god damn it, I got fucking scammed. But guess what? In the mail, I opened it, and then there it was, Mario Galaxy 1+2. So sometimes you really just have to wait, but I would have really preferred that guy actually, you know, respond to my messages, tell me, oh yeah, no, I sent it, like, here's the tracking information and everything. This game, I got for $50, cartridge only. Now, I have a very perverted reason on why I got this game, and it was because they buffed Zelda's ass. That was the one reason why I got this game. And even then, I wanted to get into Hyrule Warriors because, like, what else was also coming out on Switch 2? This was one of its other, like, launch titles. This is one of its other launch year titles. So I decided, you know what, might as well get it. Especially for Zelda. Oh man, Link truly does not know how good he has it, bro. And then this game also got surprisingly delisted. Sega game. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games for Nintendo Switch. Delisted, no alerts, nothing. So I got a physical copy, or at least a physical cartridge, as soon as I can. Super Mario RPG. Now, I played a little bit of the Super Nintendo version. I liked it, but I want to play the Switch 2, but I want to play the Switch 1 version. I got this for $10, if I remember correctly. Cartridge only. They gave me one of the generic Switch 1 cases, which I was just like, nah, I'm not putting that in my collection. Hell no. Then this is one of the game key cards for Resident Evil 7. This is the cartridge I just came back from the trip, so that's why all this is here. I got a copy of Kirby Air Riders, the Taiko no Tatsujin game, Dragon Quest 3, and you guys didn't see this because I literally gave the case to my friend, thinking the cartridge was there, but no, basically she's in a rude awakening. She's gonna be for a rude awakening when she ends up having to find out that, like, I only gave her the case. But this is one of my favorite game series of all time, Metal Gear Solid. I had it for PS3, and I fell in love with the series by that point. While everybody was out there with the Wii, well, I had a Wii U, but while it was late 2015, early 2016, during that entire slump, as much as Nintendo pretty much failed me by that point, I had Metal Gear to look over, because I had to play 1, 2, 3, Peace Walker, 4, and then, like, later on, I got a PS4 and I got it with 5, both Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain. But with all that being done, this is my entire Switch 2 collection. I love this, I love this system. I'm starting to enjoy it even more than ever. Now with all, like, Xbox and PlayStation just dropping physical support, I love these games. I love these games, I love them, I love them, I love them, I love the Switch 2. It's not perfect, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but this is the last bastion that we have for physical media. And it's always a good reminder that you don't own your shit digitally, but you own your shit physically. They cannot take this away from you. And I have a lot to say about game key cards later down the line. I have a lot to say about game key cards down the line, but that's for another video. Otherwise, Thank you for listening to me, One Shots, the Switch 2 Supremacist. I hope to see you guys in another video. We'll get this up at some point. We'll figure all of this out. This is just the beginning.